Welcome to the Wellness Lab Digest, where we help you to absorb powerful, life-changing insights from top wellness experts with our daily bite-sized wellness podcast summaries. Each episode is packed with distilled, powerful takeaways to boost your health and well-being. To support this podcast, please scroll down on whatever app you're listening. Ratings and reviews are helpful. Even better, just send the show to a friend. Check out our sponsors at the bottom of the page, or simply click the Support the Show link below the episode description. You know what's fascinating? A compound that's been used for over 3,000 years in ancient medicine is now being called nature's Ozempic on social media. But the real story behind Berberine is way more complex than those viral posts would have you believe.
Well, that's quite a claim. What makes Berberine so special that people are making these wild comparisons?
So here's the thing. Berberine is found in several plants like European barberry and golden seal, and ancient civilizations from China to South America discovered its medicinal properties millennia ago. But what's really interesting is how modern science is starting to validate some of these traditional uses.
That's fascinating. How exactly did our ancestors figure out these plants had beneficial properties without all our modern technology?
Well, they used pretty much everything, the stems, leaves, and bark, through careful observation and documentation over generations. But here's where it gets really interesting. Modern research has shown that berberine actually binds to enzymes in our bodies and changes how they function, even interacting with our DNA and RNA.
Hold on, it can actually affect our DNA? That sounds both promising and potentially concerning.
Right? And that's exactly why scientists are so intrigued. The compound seems to have multiple mechanisms of action in the body. For example, it protects the gut barrier from inflammation while simultaneously promoting beneficial bacteria growth and reducing harmful bacteria. Think of it like a bouncer at an exclusive club for your gut microbiome.
So, what kind of real-world benefits are we talking about here?
Well, the research is showing potential benefits for several major health conditions. It appears to help lower blood sugar levels in diabetics by improving insulin sensitivity and preventing the liver from producing excess glucose. It's also showing promise in reducing cholesterol levels and improving heart health.
That's quite a range of effects. But what about all these comparisons to Ozempic? I keep seeing that everywhere.
Here's where we need to pump the brakes a bit. While berberine might have some similar effects on metabolism, it works completely differently from Ozempic. The social media hype is definitely overblown. Ozempic has gone through rigorous FDA testing and approval processes, while berberine is still considered a supplement.
That's an important distinction. What about safety concerns?
That's a crucial point. While berberine appears generally safe, it can cause digestive issues in some people. Things like constipation and diarrhea, though these usually resolve within about a month. But here's something really important. It can interact with various medications, particularly blood thinners and diabetes drugs.
Well, that definitely sounds like something people should discuss with their healthcare providers before trying.
Absolutely right. And there are certain situations where it's completely contraindicated, like during pregnancy, where early research suggests it might cause uterine contractions and potentially lead to miscarriage. It's also recommended to stop taking it at least 2 to 3 weeks before any surgery.
You mentioned research earlier. What's the most promising area of study right now?
The metabolic health research is particularly exciting. Studies are showing potential benefits for conditions like PCOS, where berberine appears to help women control their cholesterol levels and improve insulin response. There's also fascinating research happening around its effects on brain health and potential protection against cognitive decline.
That's really interesting, but I'm guessing we still need more long-term studies.
Exactly. While some studies show promising results, many are small-scale or have methodological limitations. For example, when it comes to weight loss claims, many of the existing studies have a high risk of bias. We really need larger, more rigorous clinical trials.
How does it compare to established medications like metformin?
Well, that's another area where we need more research. While some early studies suggest berberine might be comparable to metformin in terms of blood sugar control, a recent study in mice found that metformin was actually better at controlling blood sugar, though berberine showed stronger effects on reducing cholesterol and obesity.
So it sounds like it might be more of a complementary treatment rather than a replacement for conventional medications?
That's a great way to put it, and it's worth noting that berberine appears to have some unique properties that might make it valuable in cases where people can't tolerate standard medications. For instance, it works differently from conventional cholesterol medications, so it might help people who are resistant to statins.
What about the quality control aspect of supplements? That's always a concern.
That's a crucial point. Since berberine is sold as a supplement, it's not regulated as strictly as prescription medications. This means the quality and potency can vary significantly between brands. It's another reason why working with a healthcare provider is so important.
Looking ahead, what should people watch for in terms of berberine research?
Several key areas are worth monitoring. First, there are ongoing studies about its potential neuroprotective effects and possible role in preventing dementia. We're also seeing interesting research about its anti-inflammatory properties and potential applications for autoimmune conditions. But perhaps most importantly, we need more long-term safety data.
It's amazing how something used for thousands of years is still revealing new potential benefits.
That's one of the most fascinating aspects of this story. It's a perfect example of how traditional medicine and modern science can inform each other. But it also shows why we need to be careful about jumping on trending supplements without proper research and medical guidance.
What's your key takeaway for people interested in trying berberine?
I'd say the most important thing is to approach it with informed caution. While the research is promising, it's not a miracle cure, and it's definitely not a direct replacement for prescribed medications. Always work with a healthcare provider, especially if you're taking other medications or have underlying health conditions.
That seems like solid advice for any supplement, really.
Exactly right. And remember, just because something is natural doesn't automatically make it safe or effective, but it also doesn't mean it's without merit. The key is finding that balance between skepticism and openness to new possibilities in medicine, all while relying on solid scientific evidence rather than social media hype. Thank you for listening to the Wellness Lab Digest. If you have received value from the podcast, I have 3 asks of you. 1, share the show with your friends and send them a link to the show. 2, please leave a rating and review in whatever app you're listening. And last but not least, please let me know what topics you would like us to cover in the future. You can contact me by sending me a message using the Send Us a Text link below the episode description.